North Korea keeps nearly everything hidden from the outside world. But strangely enough, luxury has a way of slipping through the cracks. While millions of citizens live under strict government control and constant shortages, the country's first lady appears to inhabit an entirely different universe. From a $1,600 Lady Dior handbag to multi-million-dollar coastal compounds, today we are pulling back the curtain on the extraordinary lifestyle hidden behind one of the most closed borders on Earth. The ghost bride of North Korea. Before we dive into the designer handbags, the yachts, and the luxurious compounds, you need to understand something very important. The woman standing beside one of the most powerful and feared leaders in the world was never supposed to be visible. Not to outsiders, not to journalists, not even to the 26 million citizens inside her own country. Because historically, in North Korea, the wives of supreme leaders were treated as ghosts. Kim Jong-un, the father of the current leader, never publicly acknowledged his wife. His father before him, Kim Il-sung, followed the same tradition. The women who shared their lives with these leaders remained hidden in the shadows. They raised children, they lived behind palace walls, yet their existence was erased from public history as if they had never existed at all. And then one day, everything changed. Her name is Ri Sol-ju, and in the summer of 2012, North Korean state media introduced her simply as Comrade Ri Sol-ju. She appeared beside Kim Jong-un at the opening of a recreation center in Pyongyang. She wore a tailored black suit that looked like it could have come straight off a European fashion runway. That appearance shattered decades of tradition in a country where tradition is rarely challenged. Early life. Ri Sol-ju was likely born sometime between 1985 and 1989. Her hometown was Cheonggujin, a large industrial port city in the northeastern region of North Korea. Cheonggujin is very different from Pyongyang. It lacks the wide boulevards and polished government buildings that showcase the capital. Yet Ri Sol-ju did not grow up like an ordinary citizen. Her family held a privileged position in society. Her mother reportedly worked as the head of a gynecology department at a local hospital. Her father was believed to be either a university professor or an officer in the Korean People's Army Air Force. Some intelligence reports even suggest she may be related to Ri Pyong-chol, one of Kim Jong-un's most powerful military advisors. In North Korea, family background determines nearly everything about a person's future. The system is called songbun. It is a rigid social classification that decides where you live, what education you receive, and what opportunities you are allowed to pursue. Because of her family's elite standing, Ri Sol-ju had opportunities that most citizens could never imagine. She was able to move to Pyongyang, and more importantly, she was able to follow her passion for music. She enrolled at Gyeomsang No. 2 Middle School in Pyongyang, one of the country's most prestigious arts institutions. This school is reserved almost exclusively for the children of political elites. Students there receive specialized training in music, performance, and cultural arts. From there, Ri Sol-ju did something incredibly rare for a North Korean citizen. She traveled abroad. Reports indicate that she studied vocal music in China. The experience helped refine her voice and eventually led to her joining the Unhasu Orchestra. This orchestra was one of the most prestigious musical groups in North Korea. It represented the country at international cultural events and diplomatic performances. In 2005, Ri Sol-ju traveled again. This time she was part of a cheerleading squad sent to the Asian Athletics Championships in Incheon, South Korea. Think about that moment. The future First Lady of North Korea once stood on South Korean soil cheering for athletes while interacting with people from the other side of the most heavily militarized border in the world. She was already a public face of the regime long before she became its most recognizable woman. But once she was chosen to marry Kim Jong-un, that past had to disappear. Authorities reportedly confiscated recordings of her singing. Discs were removed from circulation. The singer had to disappear. Only the First Lady could remain. Marriage into the Kim dynasty. The marriage likely took place around 2009 or 2010. And according to reports, it was not a romantic union. It was arranged. After Kim Jong-il suffered a severe stroke in 2008, the government accelerated plans for succession. Kim Jong-un needed a wife. He needed heirs. The continuity of the ruling bloodline was critical to the regime's stability. Ri Sol-ju was selected after extensive vetting by senior family members and government officials. Former sushi chef Kenji Fujimoto, one of the few outsiders who spent time inside the Kim household, later described her as charming, attractive, and soft-spoken. For 3 years after their marriage, the world had no idea she even existed. Then came July 2012, and suddenly she appeared beside Kim Jong-un. and on television screens across the world. The designer handbag controversy, the contrast between Ri-Sol, Ju's lifestyle and the lives of ordinary North Koreans, is impossible to ignore. According to international organizations, more than 40% of North Korea's population experiences food insecurity. Monthly wages for many workers are estimated to equal less than $4. Yet in August 2012, Ri-Sol, Ju appeared in public carrying a luxury handbag. The bag was identified as a Lady Dior clutch. Its retail value was approximately $1,600. That single handbag was worth more than the annual income of many North Korean citizens. The bag became so famous that South Korean media nicknamed it the Ri-Sol, Ju handbag. Soon more luxury items appeared. In October 2012, she wore a coat from the Red Valentino fashion line. Comparable garments from the same collection sold for roughly $872. She and Kim Jong-un were also seen wearing matching Mido watches. These Swiss watches cost more than $1,000 each. Luxury behind sanctions. North Korea has been under strict international sanctions since 2006. United Nations Resolution 1718 banned the import of luxury goods into the country. So how do these items reach the Kim family? Investigators believe there are several methods. Luxury goods can arrive through diplomatic pouches. These packages are protected from inspection under international agreements. Some items are smuggled through neighboring countries such as China. Others are purchased abroad by diplomats and brought back quietly. And overseeing much of this system is a mysterious organization known as Office 39. This department manages financial operations that fund the ruling elite's lifestyle. Palaces and private yachts. Luxury extends far beyond handbags. The Kim family reportedly has access to between 17 and 20 private residences. Many of these compounds include underground bunkers, swimming pools, spas, and private shooting ranges. They also own several luxury yachts. One model, the Princess 95 Mai, is valued between $4 million and $6 million. Travel between residences often occurs aboard a heavily armored train. The train includes 21 cars equipped with dining rooms and luxury accommodations. The family's car collection includes armored Mercedes Maybach limousines and an Aurus Senate reportedly gifted by Vladimir Putin. Estimates suggest Kim Jong-un's personal fortune may reach $5 billion. That wealth is believed to come from direct control over mineral exports, cyber operations, and various state-controlled industries. A fashion icon in Pyongyang, Ri-Sol, Ju's fashion choices unexpectedly created trends within North Korea. Women in Pyongyang began copying her style. Tailors in local markets recreated versions of the clothing she wore. Chanel-style blouses appeared in shops for about $40. Burberry-inspired coats sold for around $300. High heels of at least 5 centimeters became extremely popular among young women. When critics questioned the trend, many women responded simply, "Even the marshal's wife wears them." The disappearances. Yet Ri-Sol, Ju's public life has often been interrupted by mysterious disappearances. She has vanished from public view multiple times. About 2 months in 2012, several months after September 2013, approximately 9 months in 2016, more than a year between 2019 and 2020, and most recently, 17 to 18 months between early 2024 and June 2025. Each disappearance triggered intense speculation. Pregnancy, health issues, political conflicts, but the government rarely offered explanations. The rise of Kim Ju-ae. In recent years, attention has shifted towards someone else, her daughter. Kim Ju-ae first appeared publicly at a missile test in November 2022. She was around 9 or 10 years old at the time. Since then, she has appeared at military parades, celebrations, and national events. State media began referring to her as the respected daughter. In January 2026, she was filmed kissing her father on the cheek at a concert in Pyongyang. Then in February 2026, South Korean intelligence reported that she had likely entered formal successor training. She was only about 13 years old, but analysts believe the regime may be preparing her to become the 4th-generation leader of North Korea. A legacy of contradictions. As her daughter rises into the spotlight, Ri-Sol, Ju has quietly stepped back, not disappearing entirely, but taking a more subdued position beside her husband and child. Her life represents an extraordinary contradiction: luxury and scarcity, visibility and secrecy, designer handbags and a struggling economy. She remains the most visible first lady in North Korean history, and yet so much about her life remains hidden. What the world sees is carefully controlled. Every photograph, every appearance, every detail. And in those carefully staged images, the world sees a powerful dynasty presenting itself as stable, modern, and enduring. all symbolized by a woman carrying a $2,000 handbag in a country where that amount could feed a family for years. That is the hidden luxury life of North Korea's First Lady. Not trillions in wealth, but something perhaps more valuable to the regime: the image of power, the illusion of permanence, and a dynasty preparing its next generation.